Hello, welcome to Geeky Hijinks, home with the Mischief Makers, and today we're looking at the Great White. So this is my first creature feature, yay! Now, shark movies, let's be honest, there's about a dime a dozen everywhere you look, whether you go to a CEX, whether you go on Netflix, anywhere you look, there's always a shark film. And they're never as good as Jaws. Let's just be honest, nothing will ever be as good as Jaws. Jaws 2 isn't bad. And my guilty pleasure is Deep Blue Sea. It's not great, but at least it's entertaining. And I'll also throw in Meg, because the Meg, as stupid as that film is very entertaining if you just take it for what it is. So going into this, I knew I was never going to get Jaws, but I was hoping for like a Deep Blue Sea Meg hybrid. Something that will just entertain me, something I can laugh at and say to you, look guys, this is dumb, but it's fun, go check it out. It's not one of those. Instead, we get a film that is so by the numbers, it's pretty disgraceful. I actually had deja vu, and this film's new, it came out this year, but I swore I'd seen this film so many times in the past, because it just feels like every shark movie that's came before it. But before I begin with my review, what's this film about? So Great White, directed by Martin Wilson, starring these people. I'll just give you a second to soak all these in. And let's move on. It's about a couple called Charlie and Kaz, two struggling holiday makers who are commissioned by a high-flying couple to help them scatter their relatives' ashes into the ocean. But whilst doing so, disaster strikes, and they are all trapped on a lifeboat drifting out to sea, being hunted by a great white shark. God, it sounds amazingly original! But let's not mess around, let's go straight into what I liked about this film. But first I'll mention, if you do want to watch this film, just by all my thoughts, it's going to be out on Shudder on Thursday the 8th of November. So my first positive about this film is the shark, surprisingly enough. There was a good use of practical effects and real life footage of great white sharks in the ocean, and when those scenes come on, I was very impressed, especially the real life stuff, because I love anything to do with nature. Great white sharks especially are some of my favourite animals on the planet. So to see them under the water every time those scenes come on, I was just like, wow, they're amazing creatures. And even the parts with the practical effects with the models of the great white sharks, they look pretty realistic, especially near the end. I was thinking, that's not bad. But I'm not going to go too crazy. There are some CGI parts with the fish and a couple of shark moments that you're just like, oh dear, that doesn't look good. But overall, not bad. And the cinematography for this film is really good too. That's mainly because the location is shot in North Brisbane, which is in Australia, and it really makes you want to go on holiday, because when you look out the window and you see this cloudy sky, then you watch these types of films, it gets you really jealous. So it really shows off the beauty of this part of the world. And I'll give it to this film, the moments with the shark attacks, especially the last 5 minutes, they're pretty cool. I just wanted more of that because you barely get any of it, which is why I'm going to go straight into my negatives and talk about why I was severely let down by this film. Now, this film should have been called Life Raft, because that's where you spend 90% or more of this movie. I mentioned the cinematography and location. When you're there, it looks beautiful. The rest of the film is spent on this rocky ocean, on this life raft, with this group of people, just bickering like children, doing stupid decisions like, let me just stand up on a life raft on this rocky wave. Nothing's bad's gonna happen to me. I'm not gonna fall in the ocean and die or anything. And there are some what the hell moments. One came in the first 30 seconds of the film, and that's when I thought, oh no, logic does not exist in this place. Two moments stand out to mind. This mobile phone. I want this phone, because clearly this phone hasn't got a seal, hasn't got a cover, hasn't got one of those little packagings around it so you can take it in the water. It's just exposed, just like this. Just like this. Yeah, it goes in the ocean. People are able to use it. A guy that owns this phone, not a spoiler because it happens right at the beginning of the film. They always happen in shark films. Someone's killed early in the first 2 minutes of the film. They discover his body, and the guy's still holding the phone. And it's locked, and they're like, who is this guy? And they take, this guy by the way is bloated. His face is blue. He's been dead for weeks now. And they take his thumb and they go boop, and the film, and it literally opens. Hey, that's my girlfriend. But this shouldn't work. Like that thumb, if anyone's been in the bath for an hour, your fingers go wrinkly. I don't think anything can work ever again once your hand's been submerged in water for that length of time. Other things, sharks do not have vocal cords. Sharks cannot roar. Like Jaws made this mistake. What was it, the third or fourth Jaws? where the shark was roaring. Like, that was dumb then. This is 2021. What are you doing? And most of the deaths, and I mentioned most of the shark attacks were cool because the sharks look pretty realistic, but the deaths were pretty lame. It's just the same old deaths throughout the entire film. I'm in the ocean. Oh, I'm dragged under in blood. I'm in the ocean, and you get my point. Nothing really different about any of them, apart from one near the end, the cliche hero moment death. But yeah, nothing new here. And let's not forget our cliche characters, shall we? Let's see what we have. We've got the arsehole, check. The quiet wife, check. The strong silent type, check. The strong woman, check. The pilot captain of plane and or boat, check. These characters are all here, they all die in the order you expect them to. Again, nothing new here, and the dialogue doesn't help. In fact, the scariest part of this entire film for me was the barnacles. One of the characters has to crawl up on this rock. There are barnacles on there. Now, if anyone's ever had their farm or fingers sliced by a barnacle on the beach, it's not good. You bleed quite a bit. So when she was climbing over them, I was like, oh. So yeah, barnacles are the scariest thing about this film. And also, one death was quite funny to me. Again, not a spoiler because it happened in the very beginning of the film. But like, this person dies in the ocean and then they end up back in the boat. And I can't explain it. It's like they were like, oh, I must get back inside the boat for jump scare for later on in the film. Blah. And did I mention this film is boring? Overall, guys, I love my creature features. Jaws, Cruel, Jaws 2 even, Meg, Deep Blue Sea, all entertaining in their own ways. Jaws being the OG can never be touched. I was expecting something dumb. I wasn't going to rip on this film for the sake of it. I was really hoping for a film like Meg. I didn't get it. I got a cliche storyline, cliche characters, poor dialogue, with some cool looking shark effects, I'll give it that, and nice locations. But you spend all of the time on the ocean with these people bickering, making stupid decisions. This is a film I can't recommend because it gives you nothing new. It's just so generic, and it feels like it was made in 2006. It's the most 2006 movie of all time that I've watched in a very long time. So if you like shark movies, go for it. If you want to watch all the Shudder exclusives originals, go for them. If you want to watch this regardless of what I say, go for it and see what you think. You might actually really enjoy it. For me, it brings nothing new to the table, so I can't recommend it to anyone if you're kind of unsure if you want to go into this or not. So as a result, I'm going to give Great White a very generous 2 out of 5 geeky coins. It also gets a one-time spin and a mobile moan. So guys, that was my review of Great White. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it a snooze fest? Or the greatest film you've ever seen? Come out to the comments to let me know, because I genuinely am interested. If you like this video, drop me those likes, because it always does help. But until next time, stay out of trouble.